My child, stop. I am speaking to you now because what is about to happen in your life will shock your close ones, and heaven wants you ready for it. You have been underestimated, misunderstood, and quietly watched, but the season of hidden work is ending. I need you to listen carefully, not casually, because every word you are about to hear carries weight, timing, and consequence. Stay with me until the very end, because walking away now would mean missing clarity you prayed for in silence. This message will not only prepare you, it will position you. Pay attention. Guard your heart. What unfolds next will explain the waiting, silence the doubt, and confirm that I was working long before anyone noticed. My child, I need you to understand this with the deepest part of your heart. Nothing about this moment is accidental. Not your timing, not your waiting, not the strange stillness you endured when answers refused to come. I have been present in every unseen moment, working quietly while you wondered if anything was happening at all. When you thought days were passing without meaning, I was weaving eternity into the ordinary. When you felt overlooked, delayed, or forgotten, I was positioning you precisely where you needed to be. You see time as loss. I see time as alignment. I did not allow your life to drift. I guided it with intention, precision, and love far deeper than you realize. There were crossroads you never noticed where one small decision kept you from disaster. There were delays that felt cruel but were acts of mercy. There were closed doors that spared you from futures that would have wounded you beyond repair. This moment you are approaching was never random. It was scheduled. Long before your family formed opinions about you, long before doubts entered your mind, long before disappointment shaped your expectations, I had already marked this season. I knew exactly when your heart would be ready, when your faith would be strong enough, when your spirit would be humble enough to carry what I am about to release. That is why it took time. That is why it felt slow. That is why nothing could be rushed. Coincidence is a word used when people cannot see my hand. But you are not walking in chance. You are walking in design. Every tear, every prayer, every silent endurance was a thread in a tapestry you could not yet see. And now, as the picture begins to emerge, I need you to let go of the lie that you somehow stumbled into this moment. You were led here, carried here, repaired here. This is not luck aligning. This is purpose unfolding. And because this is not a coincidence, what is about to happen will not be small, quiet, or easily dismissed. When I move by intention, the results carry weight. They leave evidence. They interrupt narratives. Your family will be shocked not because you suddenly changed overnight, but because they did not see what I was doing in the hidden places. They measured you by what they could observe, while I measured you by what you endured. They judged your progress by visible outcomes, while I judged your growth by your obedience in silence. That is why what comes next will feel sudden to them, even though it has been years in the making. You must understand this now so you do not minimize it later. Do not shrink what I expand. Do not apologize for what I ordained. When doors open, when favor manifests, when clarity replaces confusion, remember this truth. It did not just happen. It was built layer by layer through patience, surrender, and trust. I allowed the misunderstanding. I allowed the delay. I allowed the tension, because I was building something sturdy enough to stand when the spotlight arrives. This is why you will not need to explain yourself when it unfolds. The alignment itself will testify. The timing will silence questions. And the outcome will make it clear that no human hand orchestrated this. My child, rest in this truth before we go any further. Your life is not drifting towards something uncertain. It is arriving at something intentional. And now that you know this, Your heart can remain steady as the shock begins to unfold. My child, there were long seasons when you felt unseen, unheard, and unacknowledged, especially by those closest to you. You wondered if anyone noticed how hard you were trying, how deeply you were carrying things you never spoke aloud. You learned to survive without applause. You learned to endure without affirmation. You learned to keep going even when no one clapped for your obedience or understood your restraint. And I need you to know something now, clearly and without doubt. While others looked away, I never did. While voices went quiet, mine remained attentive. While your family formed conclusions based on surface-level moments, I was watching the hidden places where your real battles were fought. I saw you choose restraint when retaliation would have been easier. I saw you choose faith when doubt would have been justified. I saw you cry behind closed doors and then stand up the next morning anyway. Silence from people does not mean absence from me. In fact, some of my most intentional work happens when there is no audience, no validation, no recognition, because that is where motives are purified and hearts are revealed. You are being watched, not judged. Observed, not ignored. Studied, not sidelined. Heaven does not overlook quiet obedience. Heaven records it. Heaven remembers it. Heaven responds to it. And this is why what is about to happen will shock your family. They did not see the nights you wrestled in prayer. They did not hear the conversations between your heart and mine. They did not know how close you came to giving up, and how many times you stayed anyway. They assumed silence meant stagnation. They mistook your quietness for weakness, your patience for passivity, your humility for insignificance. But my child, silence was the soil where your strength grew. While they were watching outcomes, I was watching endurance. While they were measuring speed, I was measuring depth. This is the great reversal they are about to witness. The one they thought was standing still was actually being fortified. The one they underestimated was being entrusted with weight. The one they stopped expecting much from was being prepared for much more than they imagined. And when it unfolds, they will not understand how it happened so suddenly. They will say it came out of nowhere. But you and I will know the truth. It came out of hidden faithfulness, unseen surrender, and silent perseverance. I did not need them to see it for it to count. I only needed you to keep trusting me when no one else was watching. And because you did, the silence is about to break, not with noise but with undeniable evidence. My child, I know how deeply the waiting tested you. There were moments when time felt cruel, when delay felt personal, when every unanswered prayer echoed louder than the last. You questioned yourself. You questioned the timing. You questioned whether you had misunderstood me. And I want to speak into that ache now with clarity and tenderness. The waiting was never punishment. It was strategy. I did not delay because I forgot you. I delayed because I was protecting you. I delayed because I was preparing you. I delayed because what I am about to release required a version of you that did not yet exist. If I had answered you when you first asked, it would have overwhelmed you. If I had opened the door too early, it would have crushed your confidence, distorted your identity, or tied you to outcomes you were not yet equipped to carry. Waiting is not absence. It is alignment. It is the slow, deliberate work of making sure timing, character, capacity, and purpose arrive at the same moment. You were not standing still. You were being strengthened, stretched, refined, and rooted. Every delay removed something that would have sabotaged you later. Every pause matured your discernment. Every season of not yet trained you to rely on me instead of outcomes. This was not wasted time. This was essential time. And now, as we move closer to what is about to happen, I need you to release the resentment you may still carry toward the waiting. Do not look back at those years with bitterness. Look at them with understanding. They build you. They steadied you. They stripped you of illusions and anchored you in truth. That is why what is coming will not destroy you the way sudden success destroys others. You have been trained in patience. You have been taught to move without panic. You have learned to listen before acting. This is why your family will be shocked, not only by what happens but by how you handle it. They will expect excitement, chaos, or pride. Instead, they will see calm authority. They will see grounded confidence. They will see someone who knows exactly where they are standing. That composure was born in waiting. That clarity was forged in delay. Its strength was built when nothing seemed to be happening. My child, the strategy has worked. The timing is aligning. The preparation is complete. And soon, when what I release arrives with force and clarity, you will finally understand why I said wait so many times. It was never to withhold. It was to ensure that when the door opened, you would walk through it whole. My child, I want you to remember something gently but clearly. People can only judge what they can see. Your family saw the struggle, but they did not see the story. They saw the pressure, but they did not see the purpose. They saw the setbacks, the pauses, the moments where progress seemed to stall, and they filled the gaps with their own conclusions. Humans do this. They observe fragments and assume they know the whole. They saw you tired, but they did not see how hard you prayed before you stood up again. They saw you delayed, but they did not see what I was dismantling behind the scenes. They saw you questioning, but they did not see how deeply you were listening. Struggle is loud. Process is quiet. And because struggle makes noise, it often steals the narrative. I allowed them to see the struggle because I needed you to learn how to stand without being understood. I needed you to learn how to trust me when your image was unclear, when your progress was invisible, when your life did not fit into easy explanations. That kind of trust cannot be taught. It must be lived. And you lived it. You lived it when you kept showing up while feeling empty. You lived it when you kept believing while feeling uncertain. You lived it when you kept walking while others assumed you were lost. My child, the struggle was real, but it was not the truth of you. It was the pressure shaping you, not the verdict defining you. And this is why what is about to happen will disorient them. They thought the struggle was the conclusion, not the construction. They assumed what they saw was all there was. But struggle is not evidence of failure. It is often evidence of formation. I was building muscle where they saw weakness. I was sharpening vision where they saw confusion. I was anchoring your identity where they saw instability. This is the great contrast that is coming. The same person they saw struggling will suddenly be standing in strength. The same one they worried about will be the one they listened to. The same story they thought was ending will be the one just beginning. And they will wonder how it changed so quickly. But it did not change quickly. It changed deeply, quietly, faithfully. I need you to prepare your heart for this moment, because when the narrative flips, you must not internalize their surprise as validation. You do not need their shock to confirm my work. Let it be what it is. Let the evidence speak. Let the fruit be visible. Let the transformation be undeniable. You do not owe anyone an explanation for the process they did not walk through. You owe me only gratitude for the strength you did not know you were gaining. My child, they only saw the struggle, but I saw the becoming. And soon, they will see the result. Now listen carefully, my child, because this is where I ask you to release your voice and trust mine. What I am about to do in your life will not require explanation, justification, or defense. It will speak. It will announce itself. It will answer questions before they are asked. You have spent enough time rehearsing conversations that will never be needed. You have imagined how you would explain yourself, how you would clarify misunderstandings, how you would finally be seen correctly. Let those rehearsals go. When I move, I do not whisper apologies. I release outcomes. I do not argue narratives. I establish reality. The shift that is coming will be so clear, so aligned, so undeniable that words will feel unnecessary. Favor has a language. Alignment has a sound. Peace has a presence. And what I am releasing will carry all three. You will notice it first in the atmosphere around you. Less resistance, more ease. Less striving, more flow. Less confusion, more clarity. And others will notice it in the results. Doors opening without forcing. Opportunities arriving without begging. Respect forming without demanding. This is the kind of movement that silences debate. This is the kind of blessing that ends discussions. I am not elevating you so you can finally argue your case. I am elevating you so you no longer need to. And when it begins, remember this. Do not rush to speak before the work has fully manifested. Let the process finish its sentence. Let the evidence stack. Let consistency confirm what surprise introduces. High-impact moments are not sustained by high-volume explanations. They are sustained by steady presence. Walk calmly. Speak selectively. Move humbly. Repetition will do its work, not repetition of words, but repetition of outcomes. Day after day. Step after step. Fruit after fruit. This is how shock turns into recognition, and recognition turns into respect. Some will ask questions. Some will watch quietly. Some will need time to reconcile what they believed with what they now see. Give them that space. You are not responsible for their adjustment period. You are responsible only for staying aligned with me. And as you do, what I am doing will continue to speak, louder than your past, clearer than your critics, stronger than every doubt that once followed you. My child, trust me in this. Silence paired with evidence is more powerful than any speech you could prepare. Let me speak through the unfolding. Let me speak through the doors. Let me speak through the peace on your face and the firmness in your steps. What I am about to do will speak for itself, and when it does, the shock will not just be emotional. It will be undeniable. My child, there were seasons when you felt overlooked, bypassed, even erased from conversations you once thought you would be central to. You wondered why others advanced while you seemed paused, why doors opened for them while yours remained closed, why your name was not mentioned, why your efforts were not highlighted, why your faithfulness felt invisible. And I want you to hear this without pain, without confusion, without second guessing. I hid you on purpose. Not because you were unworthy of being seen, but because you were too valuable to be exposed too early. There are things that cannot survive premature attention. There are callings that collapse under applause before they are fortified by character. I hid you not to punish you, but to preserve you. While you were hidden, I worked where no audience could interfere. I removed dependencies. I dismantled ego quietly. I refined your discernment without distraction. I allowed you to grow roots instead of chasing recognition. Visibility trains performance. Hiddenness trains authenticity. And what I am releasing next required a heart that does not need constant validation to remain obedient. I watched you wrestle with obscurity. I watched you learn to show up without being noticed. I watched you choose integrity when no one was clapping. That is why you can now carry what is coming without losing yourself inside it. Hiding was not rejection. It was protection. It was preparation. It was precision. And now, when what I have placed inside you begins to surface, your family will be shocked, not only by the outcome but by the strength behind it. They will realize that while they thought you were off the map, you were being trained beyond the map. While they assumed nothing was happening, something holy was forming. The contrast will be striking. The same one they thought was small will move with quiet authority. The same one they thought needed help will walk with clarity. The same one they underestimated will operate with stability they did not expect. This is the power of being hidden properly. I did not let the wrong eyes define you. I did not let premature opinions shape your identity. I did not let comparison contaminate your calling. You were hidden like a seed, buried, unseen, misunderstood, until the moment came when growth could no longer be denied. And when a seed breaks ground, it does not ask permission to grow. It simply rises. My child, you are rising now. Not loudly, not desperately, but undeniably. And those who thought hiding meant insignificance will soon learn that hiding with the very reason you survived the process intact. Stay humble. Stay anchored. Remember the quiet seasons. They will keep you steady when visibility increases. Now listen closely, my child, because this truth is sacred and weighty. What is about to happen did not begin with a breakthrough. It began with obedience. Not the kind that is celebrated, but the kind that costs you something. Obedience when it was inconvenient. Obedience when it made no sense. Obedience when it required restraint instead of reaction. You obeyed when I told you to wait while everything in you wanted to move. You obeyed when I told you to let go while your heart wanted to hold on. You obeyed when I told you to stay quiet while injustice spoke loudly. Each act of obedience was a key turning in a lock you could not yet see. You thought you were making small, isolated decisions, but heaven was recording them as cumulative alignment. Obedience compounds. Faithfulness stacks. Integrity accumulates. And there came a moment, quiet, unseen by you, when enough obedience had gathered weight. Enough surrender had formed substance. Enough trust had matured. And heaven responded. This moment you are approaching was not triggered by effort alone. It was unlocked by obedience sustained over time. That is why it will feel sudden. That is why it will feel decisive. Because obedience always releases acceleration once preparation is complete. And when this unfolds, you must remember this truth so you do not misinterpret the speed of the blessing. Acceleration does not mean it was right. It means it was ready. You will be tempted to wonder how things changed so quickly, how doors opened so fast, how momentum arrived all at once. But this is not sudden success. It is delayed harvest. Seeds planted in obedience grow silently before they surface publicly. You did not see the roots forming, but they were forming. You did not feel the ground shifting, but it was shifting. And now, because you obeyed when it mattered most, when it cost the most, what is released will move with force and clarity. Your family will be shocked because they did not see the cost of your obedience. They did not see the restraint, the discipline, the quiet yes when no one was watching. They will see the reward without understanding the price. Let that be. You do not need to justify the fruit to those who did not plant the seed. My child, obedience always looks small before it looks significant. But significance always traces back to obedience. Stay aligned now. Do not deviate. Do not rush ahead of me. The same obedience that triggered this moment will sustain what comes next. And if you remain faithful, this will not be the last time heaven responds to your quiet yes. My child, there comes a moment in every long process when people quietly adjust their expectations downward. They do not announce it. They do not always mean harm. But they begin to assume limits where I never set any. Over time, some around you, yes, even family, stopped expecting much movement. They reinterpreted your patience as passivity. They confused your waiting with settling. They mistook your quiet endurance for resignation. They told themselves stories to make sense of what they saw, and those stories slowly placed a ceiling over you in their minds. They did not think you would fail loudly. They simply assumed you would plateau quietly. And I allow this, not to wound you but to free you. When people count you out, their expectations lose power over your identity. I needed you unhooked from human timelines and external validation so that when I moved, you would recognize my hand and not confuse it with approval. Being counted out is painful, but it is also clarifying. It reveals who was watching for outcomes and who was willing to walk with you through process. It exposes who believed in you because of potential and who believed in you only when momentum was visible. I saw the subtle shift in how you were spoken about, the lowered tone, the softened assumptions. And I want you to know this, none of it surprised me. I was not offended on your behalf. I was strategic. Because when I move after people have counted you out, the impact is multiplied. Surprise carries weight. Reversal commands attention. But as expected is easily explained. What contradicts expectation forces reconsideration. That is why the shock is necessary. Not for revenge, not for pride, but for revelation. When they see you standing where they assumed you would never stand, it will confront their assumptions, not just about you, but about me. They will have to reconcile the gap between what they believed was possible and what has now manifested. And you, my child, must be prepared for this moment internally. Do not carry resentment into it. Do not replay old dismissals in your heart. Release them. The shock is not an opportunity to say, "I told you so." It is an invitation to remain gracious while truth reveals itself. Some will celebrate sincerely. Some will be stunned into silence. Some will need time to adjust their internal narrative. Let them. You are not responsible for how quickly others catch up to what I have already done. You are responsible only for walking forward without bitterness. Remember this. Being counted out did not delay me. It positioned you for a reveal that cannot be ignored. And when it happens, you will understand why I did not rush it. Jock has a purpose, and this one will open eyes. My child, as I prepare to reveal what others never expected, I am also inviting you to participate in that revelation. When you sow into this work, you are placing oil on a flame that reaches far beyond your own life, into homes, hearts, and generations who have quietly been counted out. I say to you now, those who sow in tears will reap with shouts of joy, and your giving is seed that carries weight in unseen soil. This is not charity, this is alignment. I am opening rivers through this message, and your support helps that river reach souls who are still waiting to believe again. This is why your heart feels stirred, because I am calling you into impact, not observation. As you give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the video description, I mark your obedience with multiplication and protection. Do not hesitate. So now, and watch how I shock your family through what I grow in you. Now listen with your spirit, my child, because this point reaches beyond you. What I am doing is personal, but it is not isolated. You are not just stepping into blessing. You are stepping into interruption. Families carry stories the way rivers carry current, patterns repeated, expectations inherited, limits passed down without question. Some narratives are spoken openly. Others are implied through behavior, silence, or survival. This is just how we are. This is as far as we go. People like us don't get that. I have heard these unspoken scripts echo through generations. And I chose you, not because you were perfect, but because you were willing to be a turning point. What I am about to do through you will disrupt assumptions that have lived in your family longer than you have. Not through confrontation, but through conquest. Not through argument, but through embodiment. When I rewrite a family narrative, I do not erase the past. I redeem it by changing the future. You are not rejecting where you came from. You are expanding what is possible from here on. This is why the shock will ripple outward. Your breakthrough will not exist in a vacuum. It will challenge what others quietly accepted as normal. It will raise questions that have been dormant for years. It will inspire some and unsettle others, because when one person steps beyond an inherited ceiling, it exposes the ceiling itself. And that can be uncomfortable. But hear me clearly. You are not responsible for carrying everyone with you. You are responsible for walking faithfully in what I placed before you. Some will draw courage from your obedience. Others will resist the implication that more was always possible. Both reactions are part of narrative change. Stay gentle. Stay grounded. Stay rooted in love. The rewrite is not about superiority, it is about possibility. Children will see differently. Conversations will shift subtly. Expectations will expand quietly. All because you were willing to believe me beyond what history suggested. My child, this is bigger than a moment. It is bigger than shock. It is legacy in motion. And when the story is told years from now, this will be remembered not as luck, not as rebellion, but as the moment the narrative changed direction. Do you? My child, before a single explanation leaves your lips, before any testimony is formed into sentences, before questions are asked or answers are offered, they will see it. Change announces itself long before it is explained. Transformation carries a presence. It alters posture, pace, tone, and atmosphere. They will notice it in the way you enter a room, not hurried, not hesitant, but steady. They will sense it in the way you speak, not defensive, not proving, but grounded. They will recognize it in your eyes, a clarity that was not there before, a calm that cannot be rehearsed, a confidence that does not need permission. This is not cosmetic change. This is not borrowed confidence. This is not emotional momentum. This is the visible fruit of an invisible process, and it cannot be hidden. Light does not announce itself. It simply dispels darkness by existing. That is what is happening to you now. You are not trying to be different. You are different. And people will feel it before they understand it. And here is where restraint becomes holy. You will feel the urge to explain yourself, to finally tell the whole story, to make sure they know how hard it was, how long it took, how deeply it cost you. But listen to me, my child. Let the evidence breathe. Let the consistency speak. Let repetition do its quiet work. High impact does not come from a single moment. It comes from sustained reality. Day after day. Intervention after intervention. Calm after calm. This is where contrast becomes undeniable. The old version of you reacted. The new version responds. The old version chased clarity. The new version walks in it. The old version needed reassurance. The new version rests in knowing. They will not need the full story to recognize the shift. And when they finally ask, and some will, it will not be from skepticism, but from curiosity, from recognition, from respect. My child, this is how I protect you from premature exposure. I let the change speak first, so that when words finally come, they land on prepared ground. Stay patient. Stay quiet when needed. Stay consistent. What is real does not rush explanation. It reveals itself over time. Now hear me carefully, my child, because this is a delicate and sacred moment. Vindication is coming, but not the kind your wounded places once imagined. Not loud, not shouted, not humiliating to others. I am not restoring you to embarrass anyone. I am restoring you to heal you. Revenge is loud and momentary. Vindication is quiet and lasting. Revenge demands reaction. Vindication requires nothing from you at all. It arrives fully formed, carrying peace instead of adrenaline. You will know it when you feel no urge to replay old conversations, no desire to confront past misunderstandings, no need to point out who was wrong. That absence of urgency is the evidence that vindication has done its work. I am lifting you in such a way that you no longer need to look back. When I vindicate, I do not rewrite the past. I render it powerless. I take the sting out of memory. I remove the need for explanation. I dissolve the hunger to be understood by those who never tried to understand you. This is freedom, my child, and it is far more valuable than being right. There will be moments when old wounds try to speak as new doors open. Memories may rise. Old doubts may whisper. They didn't believe in you then. When that happens, anchor yourself here. This is not about settling scores. This is about settling identity. You are no longer driven by the need to be seen correctly. You are grounded in being known by me. And that changes everything. Let others notice the shift without commentary. Let them reconcile it in their own time. Let grace cover what pride once wanted to expose. This restraint is not weakness. It is mastery. It is the final refinement before full release. My child, when vindication arrives without revenge, it proves the work is complete. It shows that healing has replaced bitterness, that maturity has replaced reaction, that peace has replaced the need to be understood. Walk forward now with open hands, not clenched fists. You are not reclaiming dignity. It was never taken. You are simply stepping into it fully. And when they see you standing there, whole, calm, unthreatened, they will know something real has happened. And you will know it was me. My child, there is a kind of pressure that destroys, and there is a kind of pressure that defines. I did not allow pressure into your life to crush you. I allowed it to carve you. You felt squeezed from every side, expectations, delays, disappointments, unanswered prayers, misunderstood intentions. At times it felt relentless, like there was no room to breathe, no place to rest, no moment without weight. And yet here you are, still standing, still believing, still becoming. Pressure reveals what cannot be faked. It exposes weak foundations and strengthens solid ones. And because I was shaping you for something substantial, I allowed the weight to stay longer than you wanted. Not because I was distant, but because I was precise. I needed to know, not for my sake, but for yours, what would remain when comfort was stripped away. I needed your faith to deepen beyond emotion, beyond enthusiasm, beyond circumstance. Pressure is the language I use when elevation is coming. Softness cannot sustain what is heavy. Fragility cannot carry authority. So I let the pressure do its work slowly, intentionally, thoroughly. And now, when others look at you, they will sense something different. Not because you speak about what you endured, but because of how you move through life now. Pressure has given you discernment. You no longer panic at uncertainty. Pressure has given you depth. You listen more than you speak. Pressure has given you resilience. You bend, but you do not break. This is why your family will notice the change even if they do not understand the source. They will see that life does not shake you the way it once did. They will observe a steadiness that did not come from success, but from survival with purpose. This is high-impact transformation, strength forged where weakness once lived, clarity born from confusion, calm emerging from chaos. The very things that seemed designed to wear you down became the tools that built you up. And now that the shaping is complete, the pressure is lifting, not because you escaped it, but because it finished its assignment. My child, never resent the pressure you survived. It did not harm you. They introduce you to who you truly are. Now hear me closely, because this change will not announce itself with noise. It will announce itself with presence. Your family will notice something they can't quite name at first. It will not be arrogance. It will not be distance. It will be groundedness, a settledness, a calm authority that does not demand attention but commands respect. They will notice you are no longer easily provoked, that you no longer over-explain, that you no longer seek permission to be who you are becoming. This is not emotional detachment. This is emotional maturity. You have learned where to invest your energy and where to withhold it. You have learned the difference between engagement and entanglement. You have learned that not every comment requires a response, and not every misunderstanding requires correction. This restraint is not passivity. It is wisdom. And wisdom changes the way people perceive you. They may not have language for it, but they will feel it. Something about you will signal, this person knows who they are. That signal is powerful. And as they observe this new you, understand this, some will feel inspired, others will feel unsettled. Growth always does both. When you rise internally, it forces others to confront where they are standing. Do not shrink to make them comfortable. Do not dim what I have clarified. Do not apologize for the peace you now carry. You earned this through obedience, endurance, and surrender. Let them adjust. Let them ask. Let them watch. You are not responsible for managing their emotions about your transformation. You are responsible for stewarding it well. Stay kind. Stay present. Stay humble. But do not retreat. The new you is not a performance. It is the result of deep, unseen work. And it will continue to speak louder than explanations ever could. My child, when they notice the new you, they are witnessing the evidence that transformation is real, and that realization will prepare them for the greater shocks still ahead. My child, when what I am doing in your life becomes visible, reactions will not be uniform. Do not expect them to be. Human hearts respond differently when confronted with change they did not anticipate. Some will rejoice openly. Their joy will feel sincere, warm, and affirming. They will celebrate you not because they fully understand the process, but because something within them recognizes truth when they see it. These are the ones whose spirits were never threatened by your growth. Their celebration will come naturally, without comparison, without reservation. Receive their joy. Let it strengthen you. Let it remind you that not everyone misread your season. But alongside that rejoicing, there will also be confusion. Quiet confusion, unspoken confusion, confusion disguised as silence or distance. Some will struggle to reconcile who they thought you were with who you are now becoming. This confusion is not always rooted in jealousy. Sometimes it is rooted in disorientation. Change disrupts familiar roles. When you shift, the relational ecosystem shifts with you. I need you to understand this so you do not internalize their confusion as rejection. Confusion does not mean you did something wrong. It means you did something new. Growth always introduces a period of recalibration for those watching from the outside. They may not know how to approach you yet. They may hesitate before speaking. They may need time to update their understanding of you. Give them the time without shrinking yourself. Do not rush to reassure them by returning to old patterns. Do not downplay the transformation to make it easier for them to process. This is where maturity is tested, not in how loudly you advance, but in how patiently you allow others to catch up. High-impact change requires emotional restraint. Let rejoicing be yours. Let confusion take its time, and either reaction should control your movement. You are not here to manage responses. You are here to remain aligned. My child, remember this: clarity and you will eventually reduce confusion in them. Stay consistent. Stay kind. Stay grounded. Time will do what explanations cannot. And I'll listen with heightened attention, my child, because this is where anticipation meets action. Doors that once shut loudly, doors that echoed with finality, doors that convinced you that path is done, are about to open with ease. Not strain, not begging, not force. Ease. This is how you will know it is me. Human effort rattles locked doors. Divine timing swings them open. These are doors your family assumed were permanently sealed. Opportunities they thought passed you by. Paths they believed you missed. Futures they quietly removed from consideration. And I allowed those assumptions to stand, because premature access would have damaged you. A closed door at the wrong time is mercy, not denial. Now, the very doors that define disappointment will become evidence of preparation. When they open, it will not feel frantic, it will feel right. Aligned. Natural. As though the resistance was never there. That is what divine clearance feels like. And when these doors open, understand this: they are not opening because circumstances changed. They are opening because you changed. Capacity matters. Readiness matters. Integrity matters. You now have the discernment to walk through without losing yourself. You now have the restraint to steward what others misuse. You now have the humility to remember who carried you when it was closed. This is why the shock will deepen. Your family will remember how certain things seemed finished. How conversations ended with maybe someday. How hope was quietly arcing. And then, suddenly, they will see movement. Forward movement. Real movement. My child, do not rush through these doors in disbelief. Walk through with gratitude, not urgency. With steadiness, not astonishment. Let the opening confirm what I have been saying to you all along. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was final. Nothing was beyond my reach. Closed does not mean canceled. It often means kept. And now, what was kept is being released. Prepare your heart. The opening has already begun. My child, when what is about to unfold begins to take shape, there will be no confusion about its source. This blessing will not look manufactured. It will not smell like striving. You will not feel borrowed or forced. It will carry my signature. There is a distinct mark on what I release, an unmistakable blend of timing, peace, provision, and purpose that cannot be replicated by human effort. People may try to attribute it to coincidence, connections, or momentum, but those explanations will fall short even in their own minds. Something about it will be too aligned, too complete, too well-timed to dismiss. It will arrive without panic and settle without chaos. It will fit you. That fit is the signature. I do not bless generically, I bless intentionally. I tailor outcomes to the soul I prepared to receive them. And because I prepared you carefully, what I release will sit on you naturally. Not like a costume, but like clothing made to measure. This is how you will know it is me. There will be no internal resistance, no sense of fraud, no fear of being found out. Peace will accompany it like a witness. And because it carries my signature, it will also carry my protection. What I give you will not require you to compromise who you are becoming. It will not demand that you abandon your values, your rhythms, your integrity. If it did, it would not be mine. Watch closely, my child. Blessings from me expand your capacity without eroding your character. They elevate your influence without inflating your ego. They increase your reach while anchoring your roots. This is where many stumble. They confuse visibility with validation and momentum with meaning. But you have been trained differently. You will recognize the signature not only in the result, but in the way it unfolds. Doors opening without manipulation, resources aligning without anxiety, favor resting without flattery. Your family will sense it too. They may not articulate it, but they will feel that what is happening around you has order, weight, and restraint. That is my handwriting on your life. Guard it. Steward it. Do not rush to replicate it elsewhere. When something bears my signature, it does not need to be copied. It needs to be honored. Walk slowly. Speak honestly. Stay grateful. Let the mark remain clear. My child, when something carries my signature, it is meant to be stewarded, not admired from a distance. This message you are receiving is not accidental. It is manna, and manna was never meant to be stored without sharing. I am speaking to you as I spoke in my word. Give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. When you support this mission, you are placing light where confusion once lived and fuel where faith was fading. I am inviting you personally, yes, you, to help carry this fire forward through Super Thanks membership, with a PayPal link in the video description. What you release will not drain you. It will mark you. I place favor on your provision and peace on your household as you respond. Act now. Honor what bears my signature. Now hear me clearly, my child, because this is where many falter, not at the moment of lack, but at the moment of attention. What is coming will draw eyes. Not all at once, not all loudly, but steadily. Curiosity will grow. Interest will sharpen. Observation will intensify. And I need you to know this with confidence. You are ready. I did not rush you into visibility before you were anchored internally. I did not expose you while wounds were still open. I did not elevate you while your identity was still fragile. Every quiet season, every hidden year, every overlooked moment was training for this. Attention is weight. It presses on motive. It tests alignment. It magnifies inconsistencies. That is why I waited until your yes was deeper than your need to be seen. That is why I waited until your confidence came from me, not from applause. You are prepared because you learned to live without attention. You learned to make decisions without witnesses. You learned to remain faithful when no one was checking. That kind of formation does not crumble when eyes turn toward you. And when attention comes, remember this. You do not owe it a performance. Do not begin managing perception. Do not curate yourself to maintain approval. Do not measure your worth by reactions. Stay the same person in private that you are in public. Repetition will protect you here. Repetition of habits, values, prayer, rest. The same disciplines that sustained you in obscurity will stabilize you in visibility. Let attention pass through you without lodging in you. Observe it, but do not absorb it. This is how you remain free. Some will watch with admiration. Some will watch with comparison. Some will watch silently, measuring their own lives against yours. None of that is your responsibility. Your responsibility is alignment. If you remain aligned, attention becomes a platform for purpose, not a trap for ego. My child, you were prepared not just to receive what is coming, but to carry it well. And that is why I trust you with it now. My child, there is a season when words are unnecessary, even unhelpful. You are entering that season now. Before your voice carries testimony, your life will. Before you narrate the journey, your posture will. Before you explain the miracle, your consistency will confirm it. Silence, when paired with integrity, becomes a language louder than explanation. I am asking you to resist the urge to rush into storytelling, even though you have earned the right to speak. Not because your story lacks power, but because timing multiplies power. A testimony spoken too early can be dismissed as emotion. A testimony lived steadily becomes undeniable truth. You have been trained for this restraint. You learned it in seasons when no one asked how you were doing, when no one inquired about progress, when silence surrounded you and you learned to survive without being seen. That training was not accidental. It prepared you to let results mature before words are released. Let your testimony walk ahead of you. Let it enter rooms before you speak. Let it answer questions people have not yet found the courage to ask. They will notice patterns, peace that does not fluctuate, discipline that does not decay, clarity that does not collapse under pressure. Repetition will do the work here, day after day, choice after choice, fruit after fruit. This is high-impact silence. It disarms skepticism. It outpaces gossip. It short-circuits debate. When you finally do speak, and you will, it will not be to convince but to confirm. The silence first is mercy. It gives observers time to reconcile what they see with what they believed. It gives you time to remain anchored while the atmosphere adjusts. My child, do not fear the quiet. Silence is not absence. It is authority waiting to be recognized. And hear me clearly. Silence does not mean shrinking. It means grounding. It means allowing truth to establish itself without defense. You are not withholding because you are unsure. You are waiting because you are certain. There is a difference. Let the testimony ripen. Let the fruit sweeten. When the time comes to speak, your words will land on prepared soil because your life tilled it first. Some will say, "We noticed before you ever said anything." That is the goal. That is the design. This is how transformation becomes credible. This is how faith becomes visible. This is how I protect you from being misunderstood while still being elevated. My child, trust the power of a lived testimony. It will open doors words never could. Now listen closely, my child, because this restoration touches a tender place. Respect is not applause. It is not popularity. It is not agreement. Respect is recognition without coercion. It is regard that emerges naturally when alignment becomes evident. I am restoring respect to you, not by forcing others to change their minds, but by changing the evidence before them. There were times when your voice was overlooked, your insight minimized, your intentions questioned. Some spoke over you. Some spoke past you. Some decided who you were before you had the chance to become. I saw every moment. I did not intervene immediately because I was not interested in temporary correction. I was interested in permanent repositioning. Respect gained through argument fades. Respect earned through consistency endures. That is why I allow time to pass. Time reveals patterns. Time validates integrity. Time exposes what is real. And now, the accumulation of who you have become is beginning to speak on your behalf. You will notice the restoration subtly at first. A different tone. A pause before people respond. Questions asked instead of assumptions made. Invitations where there were exclusions. Listening where there was interruption. This is respect returning. Not demanded, not negotiated, but recognized. And when it happens, guard your heart. Do not store old wounds to measure new regard. Do not rehearse past dismissals to evaluate present honor. Receive respect without bitterness. This is critical. If you anchor restoration to resentment, you will poison what I am healing. Let respect arrive cleanly. Let it settle without suspicion. You are not naive for receiving it, you are mature. My child, this restoration is not about elevating you above others. It is about restoring order. When respect returns, alignment follows. Conversations become fruitful. Collaboration becomes possible. Inflows becomes effective. This is why I am doing it now. And understand this, restored respect also brings responsibility. When people listen, words matter. When people observe, consistency counts. When people trust, integrity is tested. You are ready for this because you were refined before you were regarded. You learned restraint before recognition. You learned humility before honor. That order protects you. Let respect return without changing who you are. Stay accessible. Stay teachable. Stay anchored. Respect that rests on authenticity does not inflate the ego. It stabilizes the mission. My child, this is not the end of correction. It is the beginning of influence. Walk gently. Speak truthfully. And remember who you were when no one was listening. That memory will keep you aligned as honor is restored. My child, humility is not something you perform. It is something you return to. As what I am doing becomes more visible, as doors open and respect returns and momentum builds, you must consciously return, again and again, to the place where you and I were alone. Humility is memory. It is remembering who carried you when no one was watching. It is remembering the nights you cried without answers, the mornings you rose without clarity, the seasons when obedience felt unrewarded. Anchoring yourself in those memories does not weaken you. It stabilizes you. I am not asking you to downplay what I have done. I am asking you to stay rooted in how it was done. Humility keeps success from writing your identity. It keeps blessing from distorting your vision. It keeps momentum from pulling you away from my voice. You are not shrinking by staying humble. You are staying aligned. Pride rushes ahead. Humility walks with me. And only one of those paths remains sustainable. Staying anchored will require intention. You cannot assume it will happen automatically. Attention has gravity. Praise has pull. And if you do not anchor yourself deliberately, you may drift without noticing. Anchor yourself in rhythm, prayer that is not performative, rest that is not earned, obedience that is not negotiated. Anchor yourself in repetition, returning daily to what formed you, not just what now affirms you. This is high-impact wisdom. The practices that sustain you in obscurity must remain non-negotiable in visibility. Do not replace depth with pace. Do not replace listening with speaking. Do not replace communion with productivity. I am not elevating you so you can outrun me. I am elevating you so you can walk with me in a wider field. And hear this with tenderness, my child. Humility will also protect your heart from bitterness as reactions vary. Some will praise you. Some will misunderstand you. Some will quietly resent the change. Humility keeps you from internalizing either praise or resistance. You will not rise too high on affirmation, nor sink too low under skepticism. You will remain centered. Anchored. This is the posture that allows blessing to remain blessing instead of becoming burden. Stay close to me. Stay teachable. Stay soft where it matters and firm where it counts. My child, humility is not what keeps you small. It is what keeps you safe as I enlarge your territory. Now listen with clarity and courage, my child, because this is where fear tries to disguise itself as humility. When what I have promised begins to manifest, when opportunity arrives, when favor speaks, when movement accelerates, you may feel the urge to retreat slightly, to downplay, to soften your presence so no one feels uncomfortable. That urge is not humility, it is hesitation. And I need you to recognize the difference. Do not shrink back when it happens. Do not apologize for what I have done. Do not minimize the miracle to make others comfortable. You are not boasting by standing where I placed you. You are honoring me by staying there. Shrinking back at the moment of fulfillment is one of the enemy's most subtle strategies. He could not stop the process, so he will try to make you question whether you deserve the outcome. Reject that lie immediately. You did not earn this by perfection. You receive it by obedience. And obedience is always enough. Standing fully in what I give you does not require arrogance. It requires agreement. Agreement with my timing. Agreement with my preparation. Agreement with my authority. When you shrink back, you silently disagree with me. You suggest that my judgment may have been excessive, that my timing may have been premature, that my choice may have been flawed. My child, I did not miscalculate. I did not overestimate you. I did not rush this moment. If I brought you here, you belong here. Stand upright. Breathe. Let your shoulders relax instead of hunching under false modesty. Confidence rooted in me is not pride, it is alignment. There will be moments when stepping forward feels uncomfortable simply because it is new. Growth always feels exposed at first. New ground has less familiar footing. But discomfort is not danger. Let repetition build confidence. Each step forward will feel more natural than the last. Each decision made without apology will strengthen your sense of placement. And as you stand, you will notice something powerful. Others will adjust. When you stop shrinking, the space around you recalibrates. Conversations shift. Expectations reset. Roles realign. This is not force, this is clarity. My child, you are not taking something from anyone by standing fully in what I give you. You are modeling what alignment looks like. And some who watch you will find permission to stop shrinking too. So when it happens, and it will, stand calmly, gratefully, fully. Do not rush. Do not hide. Do not retreat. Let your presence say, "This is where I was led." Let your peace say, "This is where I belong." I will not ask you to defend it. I will not require you to explain it. I will simply ask you to remain. And if you do, this moment will not just shock your family, it will anchor your future. My child, I need you to understand this truth with humility and courage. What I am doing in your life does not end with you. It never did. Even when the pain felt personal, even when the waiting felt isolating, even when the breakthrough felt like it was only about survival, there was always something more unfolding beneath the surface. You were never being shaped merely for comfort or confirmation. You were being prepared as a signpost, a witness, a living contradiction to despair. People have been watching you quietly, some without your knowledge, some without your consent, some without your awareness. They watched how you handled loss. They observed how you endured delay. They noticed that you did not become bitter, even when bitterness would have been understandable. They saw you keep showing up, keep believing, keep choosing integrity when shortcuts were available. And though they may never have spoken it aloud, your perseverance planted questions in their hearts. How are they still standing? Why didn't they give up? What do they know that I don't? My child, influence does not begin when you are visible. It begins when you are consistent. And now that what I am doing is coming into the light, Those quiet observers will recognize something they have already felt for a long time, that your life carries weight. This is why the shock will ripple outward. Your breakthrough will interrupt more than family expectations. It will interrupt private ceilings in the hearts of others. Some will see your obedience and realize they have been negotiating theirs. Some will see your patience and recognize their own restlessness. Some will see your elevation and finally believe that waiting on me is not wasted. This is not pressure. It is purpose. You are not responsible for changing anyone. You are responsible for remaining faithful. When I elevate one, I invite many to reconsider what is possible. This is high-impact legacy. Transformation that multiplies without forcing. Inspiration that spreads without preaching. Hope that rises simply because someone dared to trust me long enough for fruit to appear. My child, do not shrink the meaning of what I am doing to fit your comfort. Let it be bigger. Let it reach further. Let it bless beyond your line of sight. I chose you because you would carry this without pride and without fear. And as you do, your life will quietly tell others, it is worth trusting him. It is worth waiting. Now, my child, let me speak tenderly into the ache that lingered the longest, the question you asked when no answer came. Why did it take so long? There were days when the waiting felt excessive, when hope felt delayed to the point of exhaustion, when you wondered if time itself was working against you. You watched others move forward while you remained still. You counted years, not just days. You asked me in silence what you had missed, what you had misunderstood, what you had done wrong. Hear me now with clarity and compassion. The length of the wait was never a measure of reluctance. It was a measure of precision. I was not stalling. I was aligning. I was not withholding. I was protecting. I was not forgetting. I was finishing something that could not be rushed. Some things cannot be hurried without being harmed. Some doors, if opened too early, would have led you into rooms you were not yet ready to inhabit. Some blessings, if given too soon, would have answered prayers but fractured identity. I love you too much to allow that. And when it unfolds, when you stand inside what once felt impossibly distant, you will feel a quiet, profound recognition settled into your spirit. Now I see. You will see how timing saved you from entanglements you once desired. You will see how delays removed dependencies you once leaned on. You will see how waiting matured your discernment, deepened your humility, and clarified your voice. The long road will make sense not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. This is the mercy of hindsight redeemed by trust. You will no longer grieve the years you waited. You will honor them. They were not empty. They were full of unseen work. And this understanding will do something powerful. It will heal you completely. No lingering resentment. No unresolved sorrow. Just gratitude. Peace. Integration. My child, the question why so long will finally rest, not because you forgot it, but because it was answered by fulfillment that fits you perfectly. So stand there when it happens. Breathe it in slowly. Let the understanding wash over you. Let the past settle into its proper place, not as a wound, but as a foundation. You are not late. You were prepared. And now that preparation is speaking louder than the waiting ever did. My child, there is a sacred shift happening that you may not fully perceive yet, but you can feel it. The resistance that once met you at every step is easing. The heaviness that followed you like a shadow is lifting. The sense of having to force doors, explain yourself, or fight for space is dissolving. This is not because you suddenly became stronger. It is because I am going before you now. There is a difference between pushing forward alone and being preceded by my presence. When you walked before, you often encountered friction, delay, and confusion. Now you will notice flow, alignment, cooperation where there was once resistance. This is how you know I am moved ahead of you. I am rearranging what you cannot see. I am softening hearts before conversations occur. I am clearing obstacles before you even reach them. I am speaking to situations before you arrive. This does not mean there will be no challenges, but it does mean you will not face them unprepared or unsupported. You are no longer clearing the path. You are walking the one I have already prepared. And as I go before you, I need you to trust the pace I set. Do not sprint ahead in excitement. Do not lag behind in fear. Watch my steps. This is where attentiveness matters more than effort. Listen closely. Respond quickly. Rest deeply. You will notice moments where things fall into place with surprising ease. Do not question that ease. Do not sabotage it with suspicion. Ease is not laziness when it comes from me. It is alignment. When I go before you, I reduce unnecessary struggle so you can conserve strength for what truly matters. This is not the season for proving yourself. It is the season for cooperating with grace. My child, I am positioning you where obedience will feel lighter and discernment will feel sharper. Follow closely. Watch carefully. The way forward is opening step by step, not all at once. And with each step, confidence will replace hesitation because you will sense that you are not arriving alone. I am already there. Now listen, my child, with reverence and readiness. What you have been waiting for is not merely approaching. It has already begun. Not in spectacle, not in announcement, but in motion. The first movements are often quiet, almost imperceptible, like the subtle turning of seasons before the weather changes. But make no mistake, this is not anticipation. This is initiation. Conversations are shifting. Decisions are aligning. Opportunities are forming. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you are not in. Your prayers are intersecting with my timing. What feels sudden later will make sense as inevitable when you look back. That is how my work often unfolds, silently at first, unmistakably soon after. I am asking you now to prepare your heart, not for shock alone, but for stewardship. What begins must be carried well. What opens must be honored. What accelerates must be grounded. Preparation of the heart looks like attentiveness without anxiety, gratitude without entitlement, expectation without demand. Stay prayerful but not tense. Stay hopeful but not hurried. This is where repetition matters again. Daily returning to me, daily releasing outcomes back into my hands, daily choosing faith over speculation. Do not try to predict every detail. Do not overinterpret every sign. Trust that I am guiding what you cannot yet name. When you feel excitement rise, anchor it in gratitude. When you feel uncertainty surface, anchor it in trust. This balance will keep you steady as movement increases, and it will increase. Momentum is building, even now. You may feel it in your spirit as a quiet confidence, a sense of readiness without urgency. That is the sign. My child, readiness does not shout. It settles. So stand ready, not with clenched fists but with open hands. Receive what comes without fear. Walk forward without apology. Remember who you were when you waited and carry that humility into what unfolds. What is about to happen will indeed shock your family, but it will first transform you. And when they look at you, they will not just see change, they will see completion. Favor awarded, endurance honored, trust fulfilled. It has already begun. Stay close to me now. We will walk the rest of this together. My child, because this has already begun, your response matters now, not later. I am moving quietly but decisively, and those who recognize the moment step forward without fear. When you give to this work, you are sowing into motion, into a harvest that is already forming beyond what you can see. I remind you of my living word: cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. This is that moment. Your support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the video description becomes a river carrying my voice to souls who are on the edge of awakening. I will bless your obedience with increase, shield what concerns you, and steady what is accelerating. Do not wait. Give now, because readiness responds when I say move. My beloved child, do not let this moment pass you by. If your spirit knows that what is about to happen will shock your family, seal it with faith right now. Type "It has already begun" in the comments as a declaration that you agree with what I am releasing over your life. Let your words align with my timing and your heart with my promise. This is not engagement, it is agreement. And when you declare it, remember this: heaven responds when faith is spoken aloud. And once you have spoken it, do not treat this as a passing moment. Stay still long enough to sense what your faith has stirred. When heaven moves, the earth does not always shake immediately. Sometimes it begins as a subtle shift, a quiet rearranging behind the scenes. What you have agreed with in faith is already setting unseen things into motion. So lean in, because what you are about to discern is not imagination, it is confirmation. My child, I need you to listen to me with your whole heart right now, because something is shifting in the very atmosphere of your home. You have felt that restless stirring in your spirit lately, haven't you? You have felt that strange, quiet tension in your house, like the air right before a summer storm breaks the heat. Do not push that feeling away and do not call it anxiety. I am the one stirring those waters. I am the one waking you up in the middle of the night with your heart racing, not because there is a threat, but because I am preparing you for a breakthrough that is going to shock everyone who knows your name. You have walked through a long, dry season where it felt like the heavens were made of brass and my voice was just a distant echo, but I am telling you today that the silence is over. I want you to stop what you are doing for a moment. Pause. Breathe. Feel my presence standing right there in the room with you, because I do nothing in your life without first revealing it to you, my faithful servant. I am not a God of confusion, and I am not a God who keeps secrets from his children. I am whispering this to you now so that when the shift happens, you won't be overwhelmed by the speed of it. You have been praying for your family for years, weeping over the same issues, and watching the same patterns repeat over and over again. You started to think that this was just how life was always going to be. But I am declaring to you right now, I am about to break the logic of your life. I am about to move with a suddenness that will leave your neighbors, your relatives, and even your own heart in a state of holy awe. You must prepare your heart to receive a blessing that makes no sense on paper. If you try to calculate how I will do this using your bank statement or your current family tree, you will miss the magnitude of my power. I chose your family specifically to be a monument of my grace, because I saw how you held onto hope when everything around you was falling apart. I saw you keep your integrity when it would have been easier to give up. I saw you love people who didn't love you back. Because you were faithful in the shadows, I am going to honor you in the light. This change isn't just a small improvement. It is a total relocation of your destiny. I want you to understand the difference between the shock the world gives and the awe that I bring. The world shocks you with bad news, sudden loss, and fear. But my shock is the weight of a favor so heavy it takes your breath away. It is the phone call that changes everything. It is the healing that doctors can't explain. It is the sudden peace in a house that used to be full of shouting. I am inviting you to step out of your survival mode today. Stop looking at the ground and start looking at my face. I am your father, and I am personally involved in every detail of your household. I am not just watching from a distance. I am moving the pieces on the board right now to favor you. Command your soul to be still. Release the grip you have on your worries and give them to me. You have carried the weight of your family's future on your shoulders for far too long, and I am telling you to drop it at my feet. I am the architect of your legacy, and I am starting a new construction today. You will look back on this moment and realize that this was the turning point. This was the day the old cycle ended and the new glory began. Believe me when I say that what I am about to do will be the talk of your bloodline for generations. I am here. I am moving. And I am doing it all for you, my beloved child. My child, look at me and listen closely, because I am about to perform a surgery on your family tree that no human hand could ever attempt. I have seen the patterns that have haunted your bloodline for decades. I have seen the way lack seems to follow your last name, how every time you get a little bit ahead, something happens to pull you back down into the dirt. I have seen the heavy spirit of anxiety that your mother carried, and her mother before her, and how it has tried to wrap its cold fingers around your own throat. You have often wondered if you were born under a shadow, if there was some invisible ceiling that you were never meant to break through. But I am standing here today as the Lord of hosts, and I am declaring that the cycle ends with you. You are the one I have chosen to be the gatekeeper who says, "No further." I am personally dismantling the strongholds of fear that have been passed down like a bitter inheritance. You know that knot of worry you wake up with, that constant feeling that the other shoe is about to drop. I am reaching into your heart right now to pull that root out. I want you to invite my light into those dark corners of your family history. Stop looking at your past as a prison sentence and start seeing it as a closed chapter. I am writing a new legacy for your children and your children's children, one that is not rooted in not enough, but in my infinite abundance. You will look at your bank account and your peace of mind and realize that the old debts, both the financial ones and the emotional ones, have vanished. I am doing a complete internal renovation of your identity. You are no longer the struggling one or the unlucky one. You are my heir. I command you to walk out of those shadows today. Do not look back at the wreckage of what used to be. I am dismantling the very structures of failure that were built before you were even born. You will see old burdens that felt like mountains simply dissolve into mist. I am replacing the generational spirit of heaviness with a garment of praise that fits you perfectly. You are moving into a season where the names of your ancestors will no longer be associated with struggle, but with the shocking favor of the living God. I am making your family a monument of my grace. Believe my word when I tell you that the chains are not just loosening, they are being incinerated by the fire of my love. You are free. Truly deeply free. My beloved, I want you to open the windows of your imagination today because I am about to do something so big that your current way of thinking cannot even hold it. You have spent so much time calculating pennies and worrying about bills that you have forgotten that I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. I am not just going to give you a handout. I am opening the floodgates of heaven over your household. I am bringing resources to your door from sources you didn't even know existed. I am talking about the shocking arrival of provision, checks in the mail you didn't expect, promotions you didn't apply for, and ideas for wealth that will wake you up in the middle of the night with a smile on your face. I am shifting you from the realm of just enough to the realm of more than enough. You have lived in survival mode for so long that you've forgotten how to dream. But I am commanding you to dream again. I want you to prepare your heart for the weight of plenty. When the abundance hits, do not let it shock you into fear. Instead, receive it with a heart of stewardship. I am giving you this wealth not just so you can buy things, but so you can be a blessing to the nations. I am positioning your family to be the ones who lend and do not borrow. You will be the ones who fund the kingdom, who feed the hungry, and who change the trajectory of your entire community. Listen to me. I am rewriting your family's financial future overnight. The struggles you had last year will seem like a distant dream by next year. I am removing the cap that the world tried to put on your earning potential. I am bypassing the systems of man to bring my divine economy directly into your living room. You don't need to know how I will do it. You only need to know who is doing it. I am your provider. I am the God of the breakthrough. I invite you to stop stressing about the how and start resting in the who. Your days of barely making it are over. I am pouring out a blessing so large that you will not have room enough to receive it. My child, I see the scars that you hide behind your smile. I know the names of the people in your family who haven't spoken to each other in years. I have heard the silent prayers you've whispered into your pillow, asking me to fix the brokenness that seems beyond repair. You have watched relationships crumble and felt the sting of betrayal, and you've started to believe that some things are just too broken for even me to fix. But I am the God of restoration, and I am about to shock you with the way I heal. I am sending a supernatural infusion of forgiveness into your home that will melt even the hardest, coldest hearts. I want you to watch as I bring a wayward child back home. I am working on their heart in the quiet hours of the night, whispered my name into their spirit while they try to run from me. You will see them walk through your door with tears of repentance in their eyes, and you will realize that my arm is never too short to save. I am mending the rifts between generations. I am taking the silence of bitterness and replacing it with the sound of laughter. I am wiping away the tears you've shed over family discord and replacing them with the oil of joy. Your home will no longer be a place of tension and walking on eggshells. It will be a sanctuary of peace. I command you to release the grudges you've been holding. Let go of the right to be angry and trust my justice and my healing power. I am the one who can turn an enemy into a brother. I am the one who can make a marriage that was dead come back to life with more passion than the day it started. I am doing a miracle in your family's emotional health. You will look at your dinner table and see unity where there was once division. You will feel a love that is thick and tangible, a love that comes only from me. Do not give up on them. I haven't. I am the great physician, and I am healing your family from the inside out. My precious one, I am calling the leaders of your home to stand up and recognize the new mantle of authority I am placing on your shoulders. I am not just giving you a blessing. I am giving you a scepter. I am empowering you with a wisdom that does not come from books or from the internet, but from my very throne. You will find yourself knowing what to do in complex situations before the problem even manifests. I'm sharpening your spiritual ear so that you can hear my instructions with crystal clarity. The shock in this season will be the sudden maturity you see in your loved ones. You will see your spouse and your children starting to seek me with a hunger you've never seen before. I want you to establish an altar of prayer in your home that never stops burning. I am inviting you to make your living room a fortress against the enemy. When you speak my name in your house, the atmosphere will change. When you pray over your children's beds at night, you will feel the weight of my glory resting on the covers. I am giving you the authority to command peace that surpasses all human understanding. When the world is in chaos and the news is full of fear, your home will be a steady anchor. You will not be moved by the storms outside because the King of Kings lives inside. I command you to take your place as the spiritual watchman of your family. Do not let the enemy's lies have a seat at your table. I have given you the keys to the kingdom, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a co-laborer with the Creator of the universe. I am building a hedge of protection around your household that no weapon formed against you can penetrate. You will see a new level of respect and honor flowing through your family members. You are moving from a position of defense to a position of dominion. I am with you, I am for you, and I am manifesting my power through you. My child, do not turn away now, for we are standing at the very threshold of your transformation. I have bared my heart to you in these first moments, and it would deeply grieve my spirit if you walked away just as the heaviest chains are beginning to crack. To stop listening now is to leave the work half finished and to turn your back on the specific instructions I am pouring out for your survival. I have carved this time out of eternity just for us. Do not disappoint my love by retreating into the noise of the world when I am mid-sentence. Stay with me, for the most vital revelations of my grace are still locked within my heart, waiting for your ears to hear them. My child, prepare yourself, because I am not just sending a blessing to your house, I am coming there myself. You are about to experience a visitation of my presence that will change the very molecules of the air you breathe. Have you noticed how heavy the world feels lately? I am replacing that worldly heaviness with the holy weight, the weight of my glory. You will walk into your kitchen or sit in your car and suddenly be overwhelmed by a peace so thick you can almost touch it. This is not a fleeting emotion. It is a tangible encounter with the living God. I am making your home a sanctuary where my voice is the loudest sound you hear. I want you to pay attention to your dreams and visions in this season. I am going to speak to you while you sleep, giving you the blueprints for your family's next steps. You will wake up with answers to questions you haven't even asked yet. I am visiting every member of your house personally. Even the ones who seem distant or uninterested will have a direct encounter with my spirit that they cannot deny. I'm shifting the atmosphere of your home from one of getting by to one of holy ground. You will find that it's easier to worship, easier to love, and easier to believe when my presence is the foundation of your house. Pause for a moment right now. Can you feel it? The gentle warmth, that quiet reassurance. That is me. I am inviting you to stop rushing and start resting in my shadow. I am the God who walked with Adam in the cool of the day, and I want that same intimacy with you. The world may be in a global storm, but your home will be an island of tranquility. I am clearing out the clutter of the world's noise so you can hear my heart beating for you. You don't have to go to a building to find me. I am right here. I am transforming your everyday life into a continuous conversation with the divine. Your home is my dwelling place. My child, I want you to look out at the world for a moment, but do not look with eyes of fear. You see the chaos, the headlines that scream of disaster, and the uncertainty that makes even the strongest hearts tremble. But I am speaking a different word over your household today. I am giving you a promise that is as solid as the foundations of the earth. No plague, no disaster, and no calamity shall come near your dwelling. You have watched the world shaking, but I am anchoring your house to the rock that cannot be moved. I want you to understand that being my child doesn't mean the storm won't blow. It means the storm cannot break you. You are safely hidden in the secret place of the Most High, under the shadow of my wings. I am stationing angelic sentries at every door and every window of your home right now. You might not see them, but they are there, standing guard with flaming swords to turn back every assignment of the enemy. While others are losing sleep over news reports and grim predictions, I am commanding you to sleep in peace. I am the one who says no to the plans of the devourer. When the enemy tries to bring sickness or lack into your family, he will run into a wall of my fire that he cannot cross. I am preserving you while the world is in turmoil, not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. I have marked your doorposts with my favor, and the destroyer must pass you by. I invite you to stop drinking from the well of global anxiety Turn off the voices that feed your dread and start listening to the voice that feeds your faith. You are not a victim of the global economy or the shifting politics of man. You are a citizen of my kingdom, and my kingdom is never in a recession. I am your shield and your great reward. Feel the tension leaving your neck and shoulders as you realize that I am in total control. I am the sovereign king, and I have already seen your future. It is secure. It is bright. And it is protected by my own hand. Walk through your house today and declare my peace over every room. This is your sanctuary, and I am the watchman who never sleeps. My precious one, I have watched you in the quiet places. I have seen you work hard when no one was watching, and I have seen you stay humble when others were busy shouting their own praises. I have seen the times you were overlooked for a promotion you deserve it, or when you were pushed to the back of the line so someone louder could get ahead. I want you to know that I was keeping record. I am the God who lifts the humble from the dust and sets them among princes. I am about to shock your family and your peers by lifting you from obscurity into a position of significant influence. This isn't about pride. It's about the platform I am giving you to show the world my goodness. I am preparing to open doors for you that you didn't even knock on. You will find yourself in rooms with people of great influence, and they will look to you for your God-given wisdom. Do not be intimidated when this happens. I am the one who is putting my words in your mouth. Your shocking rise will not be the result of human networking or clever schemes. It will be the direct result of my hand moving on your behalf. I'm honoring your quiet faithfulness in the season because I know I can trust you with the weight of my favor. You have been a good steward of the small things, so now I am making you a ruler over much. I command you to keep your heart anchored in humility as I begin to elevate you. The beauty of a family that remains humble while they are rising is a powerful testimony to the world. Use your new platform to speak of my grace, not your own strength. You will see your family name associated with excellence and integrity. People will ask, how did they get there? And you will simply point to me. I am breaking the spirit of second best that has followed your lineage. You are being called to lead, to inspire, and to manifest my light in high places. Stand tall, my child. Your season of being hidden is over. My child, do you feel that sudden rush of wind in your spirit? That is the sound of acceleration. For too long, you have felt like you were walking through waist-deep water, struggling for every inch of progress. You've had dreams that felt like they were on permanent delay, and goals that seemed to stay just out of reach no matter how hard you worked. But I am breaking the spirit of stagnation over your life today. I am removing the ceiling that has kept your family capped and restricted. I am releasing a divine momentum into your circumstances that cannot be stopped by any human hand or any demonic obstacle. I am about to shock you by doing in 1 year what you thought would take 10. You are moving at the speed of my spirit now. I am bolting open doors that were previously locked and barred against you. You will see your projects, your ministry, and your career suddenly catch fire and move forward with supernatural ease. This is the suddenly of God. I am taking the weight out of your walk. You have stayed faithful in the waiting room, and now I am calling your name to the front. You will find that the things that used to take months of effort will now happen in a matter of days. I invite you to step into this flow. Stop trying to push the heavy boulders yourself and start catching the wind of my grace. I am clearing the path through the wilderness of your life. Every valley is being filled, and every mountain is being made low. You will look back and be amazed at how quickly things shifted once I gave the command. This is not the time to be sluggish or doubtful. It is time to run. I am giving your feet the speed of the deer, and I am placing you on the heights. The days of standing still are finished. Your family is moving forward, and we are going further than you ever dared to imagine. My beloved, I want to talk to you about the years you think you've lost. I know the grief you feel when you look back at the wasted seasons, the years spent in sickness, the years lost to a broken relationship, or the time you feel was stolen by bad decisions and missed opportunities. You feel like the clock has run out on some of your greatest dreams. But I am the Lord of time, and I am telling you today, I am the God who restores the years that the locusts have eaten. I am not just going to give you a new future. I am going to reach back into your past and redeem the time you thought was gone forever. I am about to shock you with a supernatural catch-up. I am going to make your family's goals bloom into life with such intensity that it will feel like those lost years never happened. I am turning your seasons of sorrow into a harvest of joy that is so heavy you can barely carry it. You will find that the wisdom you gained in the desert is now accelerating your progress in the promised land. I am making up for the grief, the tears, and the lonely nights. You will see wasted opportunities suddenly reappear in new, better forms. It is never too late with me. I am the God of the 11th hour, and I am working a miracle in your timeline. I command you to stop mourning over what could have been. Release the regret that keeps you looking backward. I am doing a new thing, and it is springing forth right now. I am knitting your broken history into a beautiful tapestry of my grace. You will find joy in the realization that my timing is perfect, even when it feels slow to you. I am compressing decades of blessing into days of manifestation. Your family will not be defined by what you lost, but by what I have restored. Look forward with hope, my child. Your best days are not behind you. They are standing right in front of you, waiting for you to walk into them. We have traveled so far together, yet you are only halfway through the restoration I have planned for your lineage. It would break my heart to see you settle for a partial blessing when I have prepared a total overflow for your house. Do not let your focus flicker or your spirit grow weary, for to abandon this conversation now is to risk missing the very key that unlocks your family's future. I am speaking life into your dead places. Do not silence my voice by walking away before the full resurrection is complete. Your soul needs the weight of what I am about to say next. Stay in my presence and honor the sacredness of this encounter. My child, as I am restoring the years the locusts have eaten, I am also inviting you to become a co-builder of this sanctuary of hope. You have just heard my promise to catch you up and redeem your lost time, but do not let this oil of restoration stop with only your household. I am calling you now to sow a seed that will carry this message to other families who are still weeping in the dark, for the liberal soul shall be made fat. When you give through a super thanks, or the link below, you are not just donating. You are planting a holy harvest in the lives of the brokenhearted. Your seed is a weapon that shatters the spirit of lack and fuels the fire of my word across the nations. I will surely multiply your basket and ensure that as you water others, you yourself are watered by my endless springs. Step forward in this divine appointment and honor the mission that has fed your soul today. My child, I am breathing my life-giving spirit into the very cells of your body and the bodies of your family members right now. I am the great physician, and I am establishing a covenant of health and vitality over your household. I have heard the reports from the doctors, and I have seen the shadows on the X-rays, but I want you to listen to my report. I am the one who knit you together in your mother's womb, and I know how to repair what is broken. I am about to shock you by reversing incurable conditions. I am touching hearts, clearing lungs, and strengthening bones. I am breaking the curse of infirmity that has followed your kin for generations. I want you to see yourself and your loved ones through my eyes, vibrant, strong, and full of energy. I am renewing your youth like the eagles so that you have the strength to run the race I've set before you. You will not spend your final years in a state of decay and weakness. You will finish your course with power. I am removing the chronic pain that has stolen your focus and the fatigue that has dampened your spirit. I am inviting you to speak life over your body every single morning. Your tongue has the power of life and death. So start declaring that by my stripes, you are healed. I command the spirit of infirmity to pack its bags and leave your home. There is no room for sickness in a place where my glory dwells. You will experience the peace of sleeping in perfect health and waking up in my power. I am healing the minds of your family as well, washing away the chemical imbalances of depression and the fires of anxiety. You are being made whole, spirit, soul, and body. This is my gift to you, my beloved. I want you well so you can do the work I have called you to do. Taste the sweetness of my healing touch today. It is yours for the taking. My child, I am reaching out to touch your eyes and your ears right now because I am giving your family the gift of divine discernment. You live in a world that is increasingly loud, crowded with voices that claim to have the truth, but only offer confusion. You have felt the weight of that noise, haven't you? You have felt the pressure of making decisions when it seems like every path is hidden in fog. But I am clearing the air in your home today. I am opening the eyes of your family to see the reality behind the appearance. I am about to shock you by showing you the traps the enemy has laid before you have a chance to step into them. You will find yourself saying no to things that look good on the outside, but carry a hidden poison, and you will say yes to the humble paths that lead to my greatest glory. I want you to pay close attention to that quiet nudge in your spirit, that still, small voice that speaks more clearly than any headline. This is the collective intuition I am rooting in your household through the Holy Spirit. I am teaching you how to navigate the shocks of the world with a steady heart because you will already know the truth. I am warning you about people who come with flattering words but hollow hearts. I am showing you who you can trust and who you need to release in this season. You not feel guilty about walking away from relationships that I am revealing as toxic or stagnant. I am protecting your peace by removing the wolves in sheep's clothing. You and your family will walk with a clarity that baffles those around you. I command you to seek my face together as a family before you make any major move. I am inviting you to come to me with your questions, no matter how small they seem. I am not a God who hides his wisdom. I am the God who gives it liberally to those who ask. You will experience the shock of being warned of danger before it strikes. You will see things for what they really are. The gold will be revealed as gold, and the dross will be revealed as dross. I am sharpening your focus so that you do not waste your time on things that have no eternal value. The clarity that is coming to your house is a shield against the deception of this age. Trust the discernment I am pouring into you. It is your lifeline in the storm. My beloved, I am looking at your children and your grandchildren, and I am telling you that I am rebuilding your family legacy from the ground up. You have worried that the mistakes of your past would be the final word on your family name. You have feared that the struggles you faced would be the only thing your descendants would inherit. But I am erasing that old story and I am writing a new one. I am about to shock you by showing you how your grandchildren will walk in my ways with a boldness that you only dreamed of. I am turning your household from a place of mere survival into a lighthouse of legacy. You are no longer just trying to make it through the month. You are building foundations that will last for 100 years. I want you to start investing in the spiritual future of your lineage today. I am giving you the wisdom to teach your family the laws of my kingdom. I am shifting your mindset from never enough to abundance for generations. I am opening your eyes to see that your words and your prayers today are the seeds that will shade your great-grandchildren tomorrow. You will see your family name become synonymous with my favor and my integrity. People will look at your bloodline and say, "Surely the hand of the Lord is upon that house." I am establishing a name for you that is rooted in my grace, and I am giving you the resources to ensure that this legacy is backed by natural and spiritual provision. I command you to speak life over the future of your family. Do not let the words of the world define what your children will become. I am calling them to be leaders, innovators, and healers. I am inviting you to dream bigger for them than they even dream for themselves. You are the architect of this new era. I am providing the blueprints and the materials, but I need your yes to build it. We are moving away from the survival mindset that has kept your family small. We are stepping into the realm of the eternal. Your legacy is not just about what you leave behind in a bank account. It is about the fire for me that you leave in their hearts. That fire will never be extinguished. My child, listen to me. I am going before you right now to level the mountains of opposition that you didn't even know were standing in your path. There are people and circumstances that have been secretly hindering your progress, acting like invisible brakes on the wheels of your destiny. You have felt the frustration of things not moving forward despite your best efforts. You have felt like you were fighting a ghost. But I am about to shock you by exposing and removing every hidden obstacle in one swift move. I am dismantling every weapon that has been formed against your house in the dark. You will watch giants fall without you having to lift a single finger, because the battle is mine. I am clearing a path through the wilderness of your current situation. Where there was once a thicket of confusion, there will be a highway of holiness. I am removing those who have whispered against you in secret and those who have tried to block your doors of opportunity. I am bringing my vengeance and my vindication to your doorstep. You do not need to fight for your reputation or your position. I am your advocate. I am the one who shuts the mouths of lions and opens the doors that no man can close. You will witness the dismantling of systems that were designed to keep you down. The obstacles that seem permanent are about to become past tense. I command you to stand still and see the salvation of your Lord. Stop trying to figure out who is against you and start focusing on who is for you. I am your rear guard and your vanguard. I am surrounding your house with my protection so that no scheme of the enemy can find a foothold. I'm making a clear way for you where there was no way. You will walk through doors that were previously bolted shut, and you will find that the keys have been in my hand all along. I am your defender, and I am moving with power to clear your name and your path. Rest in my sovereignty today. Your way is being made straight. My precious one, I am coming to you today with a call that might feel shocking to your natural mind. I'm asking for your radical obedience. A yes that doesn't require an explanation or a map. I am calling your family to step out of the shallow water of comfort and into the deep ocean of my glory. You have lived by human logic for a long time, and it has kept you safe, but it has also kept you limited. I am inviting you to follow my divine instruction, even when it seems to defy common sense. I am about to shock you with the miracles that follow a simple, quiet act of compliance. When you move when I say move, and stay when I say stay, you unlock a level of my plan that you cannot access any other way. I want you to set aside the what-ifs and the how-tos. I am the master strategist, and I see the end from the beginning. I'm asking for yes from the head of the house down to the youngest child. Your obedience is the key that turns the lock on the storehouse of my greatest blessings. I am calling you to move away from the safety of the shore because the great harvest is in the deep. Do not be afraid of the unknown, for I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am already standing in your tomorrow, waiting for you to arrive. Every time you obey me in the small things, I am preparing you for the weight of the big things. I command you to listen for my specific instructions today. It might be a call to give, a call to forgive, or a call to change direction entirely. Whatever I ask, do it without hesitation. I am inviting you to trust me more than you trust your own eyes. The rewards of a family that fears and obeys the Lord are beyond anything the world can offer. You will see doors open simply because you followed my whisper. You will see protection manifest because you stayed under the umbrella of my will. This is the path of power. This is the path of transformation. Give me your yes today, and watch how I rewrite your reality. Listen to the urgency in my voice, my beloved, because the shadows are shifting and the time for your breakthrough is narrowing. It would be a profound tragedy if you allowed the distractions of the flesh to pull you away while I am in the middle of dismantling the obstacles you've cried out for me to remove. If you stop now, you leave your house unguarded and your spirit unprepared for the shift that is coming tomorrow. I am offering you the blueprints for a legacy that will outlive you. Do not treat my divine counsel as something that can be cast aside for a moment of convenience. I am calling you deeper. Do not grieve the Holy Spirit by choosing the mundane over the miraculous. My child, I am the supreme judge of all the earth, and I am stepping into the courtrooms and the government offices on your behalf. I know the legal battles that have drained your energy and the formal documents that have felt like a weight around your neck. I have seen the unfavorable rulings and the paperwork that seem to block your family's progress. But I am about to shock you by rewriting those documents with my own finger. I am bringing about favorable outcomes in matters of law, settlements, and inheritances that have been long withheld. Justice is being served where you were once wronged. I am your divine advocate, and my court is now in session. I want you to feel the peace that comes from knowing that I am the highest authority. O human judge, and no bureaucratic system has the final word over your destiny. I am the one who changes the hearts of kings like streams of water. I am influencing the minds of those who hold your files in their hands. You will see settlements reached that favor you, inheritances released that were stuck in probate, and legal knots untied that seemed impossible to loosen. This is the shock of my vindication. I am restoring what was taken through deception or delay. Your family will no longer be held hostage by the red tape of this world. I command you to release the stress of these formal affairs to me. Stop rehearsing your defense in your mind and start rehearsing my promises. I am the one who pleads your cause. I am inviting you to rest in the knowledge that I am your king. I am moving behind the scenes to ensure that justice is not just a word, but a reality in your household. You will see the impossible document arrive in the mail, stamped with approval. You will hear the phone call that says the case is closed in your favor. I am your shield, and I am your advocate. Trust in my supreme ruling today. Your turnaround is here. My child, I am reaching into the very core of your family's soul to unlock treasures that have been hidden for generations. I am about to shock you by activating spiritual gifts in your household that will make the world take notice. You have looked at your children and wondered about their future, fearing the influence of a world that seems to grow darker every day. But I am telling you now, I am setting them apart for my holy use. You will witness the shock of seeing the youngest members of your family speak with a wisdom beyond their years, prophesying the truth of my kingdom with a clarity that silences the skeptics. I am not just giving them talents, I am giving them an unction from my spirit that will make them bold as lions in the face of compromise. I want you to see your family not just as a domestic unit, but as a unified spiritual body. I am unlocking hidden abilities in you and your loved ones, gifts of healing, words of knowledge, and a supernatural creativity that will provide solutions to problems others find impossible. You will experience the joy of discovering my specific purpose for each individual under your roof. There will be no more identity crises in your house, for every member will know exactly who they are in me. I am equipping your household for the great harvest of souls that is coming. You will stand together as a front-line force, speaking my word with signs and wonders following your every move. The atmosphere of your home will become a training ground for the miraculous. I command you to stir up the gift that is within you. Do not let your spiritual life become a routine or a Sunday-only event. I am inviting you to expect the supernatural in your everyday conversations. When you sit at the dinner table, listen for my whispers. When you walk through your neighborhood, be ready to offer a word of hope that hits the mark with pinpoint accuracy. I am making your family a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. The shock of seeing my power manifest through your own kin will build a faith in you that is unbreakable. You were created for more than just a quiet life. You were created to be a vessel of my glory. Accept this mantle today. Your family is becoming a powerhouse of my spirit. My beloved, I am placing my hand directly upon the union between you and your spouse. For the marriage at the center of your home is the bedrock of the legacy I am building. I know the seasons where the fire seemed to grow cold, the nights spent in silent disagreement, and the weight of responsibilities that made you feel more like roommates than soulmates. I am about to shock you with a supernatural rekindling of your love and mutual respect. I am reaching into those places of hardness, those areas where you've built walls to protect yourself from past hurts, and I am replacing them with a divine tenderness. You will see your spouse through my eyes, and the spark that first brought you together will roar back into a flame that no storm can blow out. I am protecting the bond of your marriage as the precious core of your family. I am aligning husband and wife under my divine order, where love flows down and respect flows up in a perfect cycle of grace. I am healing the scars of past betrayals, misunderstandings, and the little foxes that tried to spoil the vine. You will find yourselves talking again, truly talking about your dreams, your fears, and your shared future. I am giving you a unity that is a threat to the enemy's plans. A marriage that is unified in my spirit is a fortress that no weapon can penetrate. You will find that as your marriage grows stronger, the peace in your entire household will multiply. I command you to make your marriage a priority again. I am inviting you to let go of the scorekeeping and the resentment that has cluttered your hearts. Start speaking words of life over each other. I am the third strand in your cord, and I am strengthening the weave so it cannot be broken. You will find yourselves laughing together again, finding joy in the simple presence of one another. The shock of this transformation will be a testimony to your children and your neighbors. They will see that true, lasting love is possible when I am the center. I'm mending what was torn and polishing what was dulled. Your marriage is my masterpiece, and I am far from finished with it. My child, do not think for a moment that the shocking blessings I am pouring into your home are meant to stay within your four walls. I am doing a work in you that will overflow and change the spiritual climate of your entire community. You have lived in your neighborhood perhaps feeling like just another face in the crowd, but I have placed you there as a strategic outpost of my kingdom. I am about to shock you with a way your family's testimony will draw people to my light. You will see neighbors who once kept their distance suddenly knocking on your door, looking for the peace they see in your eyes. You are becoming a beacon of hope in a world that is drowning in despair. I want you to see your home as a place of refuge and prayer for those around you. I am shifting the atmosphere of your street through your presence. Where there was once a spirit of isolation and suspicion, I am bringing a spirit of community and grace. You will find opportunities to pray for those who live next door, and you will see my power heal their bodies and mend their lives through your hands. The shock of people coming to Christ because of what they see in your family will be the greatest reward of this season. You are not just living in a house, you are occupying a territory for the King of Kings. I command you to live with your doors and your heart open. I am inviting you to stop hiding your light under a bushel. Be bold in sharing the goodness I have shown you. You don't need a sermon. You just need to tell your story. I am using your family's shocking turnaround to prove to your community that I am real and that I am still in the business of doing the impossible. You will see the spiritual vibration of your neighborhood change. Crime will drop, peace will rise, and my name will be honored because you were willing to be my witnesses. You are a city on a hill, and I am turning up the volume of your light today. My precious one, I am speaking directly to the what-ifs that have been keeping you awake at night. I am reaching into your mind to pull out the roots of dread that have tried to choke your faith. I am about to shock you by replacing your cowardice with a boldness you didn't know you possessed. You have lived under the shadow of fear for too long. Fear of the future, fear of failure, fear of what others think. But I am the great I am, and my presence in your life makes every fear a liar. I am teaching you and your children to walk in a confidence that is not based on your circumstances, but on my sovereignty. I want you to see the calm that settles over your house even when the world is trembling. While others are panicking over news reports and global shifts, your household will remain steady. You will recognize that fear is nothing more than a mirage, a trick of the enemy to keep you from your destiny. I am anchoring your family's soul in the hope of my promises, an anchor that holds firm no matter how high the waves get. You will find yourself facing challenges with a smile, knowing that I have already provided the victory. The shock for those around you will be your inexplicable peace in the midst of the fire. I command the spirit of fear to leave your presence right now. It has no authority over an heir of the Most High. I am inviting you to practice my presence until the what-ifs are drowned out by my I will. I am giving you a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. Teach your children to speak to their fears and tell them how big their God is. You are not a people who shrink back. You are a people who charge forward. The days of living in a defensive crouch are over. Stand up straight. Breathe in my courage. I am your shield, your fortress, and your deliverer. With me by your side, whom shall you fear? My precious one, the finish line is in sight, and the glory I am about to reveal is far greater than anything you have heard yet. It would be a source of great sorrow to me if you grew impatient in these final moments and missed the sealing of the covenant I am making with your children. You have stayed with me through the fire. Do not falter now when the oil of joy is ready to be poured over your head. To turn away now is to leave the room while the King is still speaking your name. Hold fast to me. Remain in this stillness, and show me that you value my heart more than the ticking of the clock. Now that I have broken the spirit of fear over your house, I am inviting you to stand as a bold pillar of my kingdom. A heart that is truly free from dread is a heart that is free to be radically generous, knowing that I am the source of every good and perfect gift. I have called you to be a city on a hill, and your support through membership or a gift of love ensures that this light never grows dim for the millions seeking my face. Think of the souls who are still paralyzed by the what-ifs, waiting for the very word that has just set you free. By giving now, you are laying up treasures where moth and rust cannot consume, and I will open the windows of heaven until you have no room to contain the blessing. I am watching over your sacrifice, and I will rebuke the devourer for your sake as you fuel this ministry. Demonstrate your victory over fear by sowing into this mission this very hour. My child, I am opening the scrolls of heaven to give you the specific plans and strategies you need for the next 7 years. You have felt like you were flying blind, trying to make the best of things without a clear map. But I am about to shock you with a divine clarity that will make you the most prepared person in your field. While others are wandering in circles, confused by the shifting global economy and the chaos of the times, you will know exactly what to do. I am giving you the wisdom of Issachar, an understanding of the times and the seasons, so that you know the right path for your family to take. I want you to listen for the specific blueprints I am dropping into your spirit. I am giving you insights into investments, career moves, and educational paths for your children that will position you for maximum impact. This is not human cleverness. This is a download from the throne of grace. You will find yourself making moves that seem counterintuitive to the world, but lead to massive favor. I am your good shepherd, and I am leading you to green pastures that others haven't discovered yet. The shock of your success will be a sign to everyone that you are being led by a higher power. I command you to wait on me for the strategy before you move. I am inviting you to treat our morning conversations as a board meeting with the Creator. Ask me for the details. Ask me for the how and the when. I'm more interested in your success than you are because your success is my testimony. You will avoid the pitfalls and traps that the enemy has laid for your finances and your family. You will walk a straight line to your destiny while others are lost in the woods. I am your light and your salvation. I am making your path clear. Trust the strategy I am giving you. It is the key to the abundance I have promised. My child, I am reaching out to swap your heavy burden for a song that will not end. I have seen the spirit of heaviness that has sat upon your shoulders like a leaden cloak for far too long. I have watched you walk through seasons of mourning where the sky seemed permanently gray and your heart felt like a hollow drum. You have forgotten what it feels like to laugh until your sides ache, or to wake up without a sigh. But I am the God who turns mourning into dancing, and I am about to shock you by filling your house with a joy so thick it will baffle the skeptics. This is not a temporary happiness based on a good day. This is the joy of the Lord, which is your supernatural strength. You are going to laugh again, and this time, the laughter will be deeper because it comes after the rain. I want you to prepare for a celebration that marks the beginning of a completely new era for your family. This joy is not dependent on your bank account, your health, or the news cycle. It is anchored in my presence. You will find yourself smiling at the future because you finally realize that I am already there, holding everything together. I am replacing the sighing and crying with a garment of praise. Your family members will look at one another and see a light in each other's eyes that has been missing for years. The shock of this turnaround will be a sign to your enemies that I am indeed for you. I am removing the bitter taste of past sorrows and replacing it with the sweetness of my goodness. You will discover that my joy is a weapon. It will push back the darkness and give you the power to overcome every obstacle. I command you to put on your garment of praise right now, even before you see the full manifestation of the miracle. I am inviting you to rejoice in me simply because I am your Father. Do you feel that bubble of hope rising in your chest? Do not suppress it. Let it out. I am restoring the childhood wonder that the world tried to steal from you. I am teaching your family how to find delight in the small things while I handle the big things. Your home will no longer be a place of somber whispers and worried glances. It will be a place of singing, shouting, and genuine delight. I am making your happiness a mystery to the world and a testimony to my grace. The year of the heavy heart is officially over. Today, you enter into my rest and my rejoicing. My beloved, I am looking at the young faces in your household with a fierce and protective love. I know the world is shouting for their attention, trying to lure them into deceptions and drown out my voice with the noise of the age. You have worried about their minds, their hearts, and the paths they are choosing. But I am declaring a shocking work of sanctification over your children and your grandchildren. I am setting them apart for my holy use, marking them with a seal of ownership that the enemy cannot break. You will see their peers influenced by their light, rather than them being pulled into the darkness. I am giving them a heart of flesh and a passion for my word that will make them stand out like stars in the midnight sky. I want you to watch as I give your children a wisdom that surpasses their teachers and a discernment that protects them from the traps of the youth. They will excel in stature and favor, not because of their own striving, but because my Spirit is resting upon them. I am the God who stays with your seed. I am writing my laws upon their hearts so that when they are old, they will not depart from them. The shock of seeing your wayward or distracted young ones suddenly turn toward me with a burning fire will be one of the greatest joys of your life. I am protecting their purity, their purpose, and their potential. They are not the lost generation. They are the chosen generation, and I am equipping them to lead where others have fallen. I command you to stop speaking words of worry over your children and start speaking my promises. I am inviting you to trust me with their souls. I am their father even more than you are their parent. I am the one who will meet them in the middle of the night and speak to them in dreams. You will see them become leaders of integrity, voices of truth, and vessels of my power. I am removing the spirit of rebellion and replacing it with a spirit of excellence. Rest in the assurance that my spirit will remain with your seed and my words in the mouths of your children's children. They are covered by the covenant I have made with you. They are safe. They are mine, and they are destined for greatness. My child, I am whispering a secret to your heart today. The time is shorter than the world realizes. I am calling your family to a higher level of readiness, to a state where your lamps are trimmed and your oil is overflowing. I am about to shock you with a deep, inner realization of the eternal weight of your daily choices. I want you to live with an eternal perspective, where your eyes are fixed on the things that last forever. You have spent much of your life building on the sand of this world, but I am shifting your focus to the rock of my kingdom. I want every member of your house to be ready, with hearts that are clean and spirits that are expectant. I am inviting you to live every day as if it were the day of my appearing. This is not a call to fear, but a call to the highest form of peace. When you are ready, you do not have to worry about the suddenness of the end. I am ensuring that every name in your household is written in my book of life. I am helping you prioritize what truly matters: love, service, and intimacy with me. The shock of this shift will be the way your family stops chasing the empty shadows of fame and wealth and starts chasing the substance of my glory. You will find that when you seek first my kingdom, all the other things you were shocked by earlier are added to you with ease. We are preparing your house to be a place where I am always welcome. I command you to wake up from any spiritual slumber. Do not let the comforts of this life lull you into a daze. I am inviting you to a life of urgency and purpose. Focus on the souls around you and the mission I have given you. You will find a new boldness to share the gospel because you know the value of a single soul. I am making your family a watchman house, a family that discerns the signs of the times and leads others to safety. The peace of being prepared is the greatest gift I can give you in an unstable world. Keep your eyes on the eastern sky and your heart in my hand. I am coming soon, and I want you to be found faithful, doing the work of the Father with joy. My child, we have come to the conclusion of this conversation, but it is only the beginning of your new reality. I am placing the final seal of my covenant upon your household today. This is the amen to every promise I have spoken to you. I am the Alpha and the Omega, and what I have started in your family, I will surely complete. You have my word, and my word does not return to me void. I am about to shock you one last time with the sheer completeness of my work. I am not a God of half measures. I am crowning the new season of your life with a victory that is total and absolute. You will stand together as a family, looking back at the mountains I moved and the chains I broke, and you will know that I am the Lord. I want you to rest in the knowledge that your family is eternally mine. No matter what the future holds, no matter what storms may shake the earth, you are anchored in my love. I will never leave you, and I will never forsake you. The shock of the coming days will be the beauty of seeing every word I have spoken manifest in your physical reality. You will see the healing, the provision, the restoration, and the joy. You will see your children walking in power, and your legacy established in truth. I am the God of the covenant, and I am faithful to 1,000 generations. This is my final declaration over you today. You are blessed, you are chosen, and you are mine forever. I command you to walk out from this conversation with your head held high. Do not let the whispers of the past pull at your heels. I am inviting you to step into the fullness of your destiny. Every time you feel a moment of doubt, remember my voice. Remember that I am personally involved in your life. I have gone before you to make the crooked places straight, and I am standing behind you as your rear guard. You are covered, you are kept, and you are loved with an everlasting love. The work is finished, the victory is won, and your family is now a monument of my grace. Go in my power, my child. I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. Amen. My beloved, as we seal this covenant today, I am calling you to let your gratitude flow like a river into the lives of the world's forgotten children. You have received the final word of my favor, and now I ask you, will you help me carry this shocking grace to the ends of the earth? Your support through PayPal or our community membership is the manna that sustains those who are starving for a touch from their Creator. I declare over you that he who sows bountifully shall also reap bountifully, and my favor will rest upon your finances as a sign and a wonder. Every dollar you give becomes a spark of my fire, igniting hope in places where darkness once reigned supreme. Do not let this moment of divine connection pass without leaving a mark of your love upon my kingdom. I am the Lord who rewards the cheerful giver, and I am calling you to act with prophetic urgency right now. Look to the description, follow my nudge, and sow into the glory that is about to manifest. Now, my child, do not let these words simply vanish into the air, but seal them this very moment with the power of your own voice. I am waiting for you to step into the light and boldly declare that the era of hidden struggle in your household has come to a definitive end. I command you to reach out and anchor your faith by commenting, "My family is marked for my shocking favor." This is not just a sentence. It is a prophetic activation that signals to the heavens that you are ready to receive the impossible. Do not hesitate, for as you type these words, you are aligning your heart with my divine timing and announcing to the world that your turnaround has begun. Speak it, believe it, and watch as I move the mountains to make your legacy shine. Amen.